Hey guys, it's Jag. Welcome back to the arcade. Today we're going to start a brand new series for the channel. Let's play just another game, Sly 2 Band of Thieves. Now it has been some time since I played the original Sly Cooper on this channel, and to be perfectly honest, Sly 2 is my favorite of the original Sly Cooper trilogy. I feel like they took a bunch of the systems from the original game and refined them so that they weren't quite so punishing. This game can still be difficult, but it is definitely not as punishing as the first game, and I feel like they came up with a really good formula for the Sly Cooper franchise. Now, this is the PS3 remake version of the game. I do have the original on PS2, but I had some trouble getting that to work with OBS. I've heard that the PS3 version of the game has a few bugs, and one of them has something to do with the audio, and I think that's probably going to be the one we hear the most. But overall, I hope that we don't run into anything too serious, and let's go ahead and get started. I want to start a new game. I was kind of recording a little bit to make sure everything was going to check out okay, but let's get started with a new game.
Breaker Alpha Foxtrot, this is the Wizard. Do you read me, Sitting Duck?
This is Peking Duck. I hear you, Blizzard.
No, Sly, I'm the Wizard, and you're Sitting Duck.
I read you loud and clear, Lizard.
No, I'm... Forget it, you're not taking this seriously.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, Bentley, I know this is your first time out in the field, but you've gotta loosen up. If we're gonna get to those Clockwerk Parts, I need you on your toes. So in plain talk, what's your status?
Well, I've established myself in the basement, and I'm pretty sure I can rewire the service elevator if you can power it up from that security station.
Hang tough, pal. It might take some time, but I'll figure out a way to get up there.
So you might have heard that audio bug that I was worried about. For some reason, when they're in that dialogue like that, the first syllable or so is really, really quiet, and then it goes back to a normal speaking voice. I looked around on the internet, and that's actually a problem with the game, not my recording, so there's not too much we can do about that. But you'll notice one of the first refinements that this game does, we have an actual health bar in the upper left screen. We're no longer reliant on Lucky Charms.
I spliced the wires. Ouch! Hold on. There it is. Okay. Let me at that security computer. The spotlights are offline. There goes the laser security system. I'm working on the security gate. Presto, all clear.
Thanks, pal. For your first time out, you did pretty well.
Oh, this operation is far from complete. Now that the lasers and spotlights are offline, Murray should be moving into position for your rendezvous. I'll stay here and provide computer support while you go on ahead.
That is the next refinement. For the first time ever, all 3 members of the Sly Cooper gang will be available to play with. In the original, it was just Sly, and Murray didn't make an appearance, but in this game, we're going to get to play as all 3 of them to accomplish missions. And before we go too much further, pay attention to these paintings because they have pictures of the original villains from the first game. There's Raleigh, there's Panda King, Mugshot, Miss Ruby, I don't know what this painting is. This is the first time I've ever noticed this. I have no idea what that is. But this appears to be an entire exhibit around the villains of the first game, and that's why the Clockwerk Parts are here, which is kind of interesting. By the way, I've kind of been ignoring it, but you want to beat the hell out of the scenery as much as possible because you're going to earn money that way. And money is going to be very important in this game. It's going to be how you purchase new moves. That's another way they refined Sly 1, and I'll get into more of that later. But just be aware that you want to collect as much cash as possible. They won't get you Lucky Charms anymore, they just get you moves.
According to my information, the Clockwerk Parts are being stored up there. Now to get access, you're gonna have to meet up with Murray at the rendezvous point. Unfortunately, the route through the garden is filled with guards.
No problem. I'll just take the long way around.
If memory serves, you need to jump and hit the circle button to run along ropes.
I don't know if you guys saw it before we were put into that cutscene, but that red cross, that's how you're going to replenish your health. That is a health pickup, and it will also replenish some of the energy that you need to pull off some moves. And like I said, we'll get into more of that when it's relevant. I just wanted to point it out that it was there. They didn't change the controls too much. Circle is your main action button. That's how you're going to be doing most of your gameplay mechanics.
Lost along the way. Try pressing on ahead without him.
Alright, I will press on ahead, and I have pressed as far as I can. There's another cross. There's Murray.
Greetings, citizen. I hope you weren't harmed by my meteoropic entrance.
No, Murray, I kept at a safe distance.
Good. The Thunderflop knows neither friend nor foe, only destruction.
Yeah, could you maybe channel some of that raw energy into the security gate?
Of course. It is nothing before the Murray.
That dialogue bug does bother me a little bit, but from what I'm seeing on the internet, it goes away the further we get into the game, so I'm hoping that's the case.
Okay. All clear.
Thank you! That gives you an idea of the gameplay that you're going to get from Murray and Bentley. Bentley will be hacking, and Murray will be lifting and wrecking things. And Sly will, of course, be doing most of the agility.
Another barrier stands before you. Fear not, I shall bend it like the truth.
Solid work, Murray. You're really in the zone.
My hulking frame is too much for that puny rope. You go ahead and unlock the doors from the inside. I'll be waiting in the hallway to help you carry out the Clockwerk Parts.
I'm sure it's gonna go just that easy, and also nobody is noticing those banners getting jostled. This window is already— oh right, he broke it for me, duh.
I don't get it, Sly. The Clockwerk Parts should be here. This is all wrong. We need to pull the plug on this operation right now.
Freeze, Cooper.
Inspector Fox. As beautiful and unpredictable as ever.
Because you crooks are so predictable. You always return to the scene of the crime.
Crime? I haven't stolen anything. Yet.
Really? Then who broke in last night and made off with all the Clockwerk Parts? You've got the motive.
Someone already stole the parts?
Don't play dumb with me. It might not have been him, Carmelita. The method of entry and guard casualties all point to this being a Claw Gang job.
The Claw Gang?
Constable Neela, I allowed you to sit in on this stakeout as a favor to the Contessa. I really don't need any help. Oh, I think you might. Look at the facts. Facts? Sly Cooper is right here. I caught him red-handed. I'm just saying that there are other criminals in the world other than Sly Cooper! After him! Freeze!
It would not be a Sly game if our first foray was not against Carmelita. And I did take a hit because I want to get as much money as possible. But if you notice that Carmelita's voice is different from the original game, congratulations! She has 4 different voice actresses. She has a different voice actress for every game in the series. And in this one, even though Carmelita is either supposed to be Italian or Spanish, I'm not sure which. Keep in mind this game, or the nationalities of everyone in this series is mostly European. For some reason she's American. very, very American in this game, which is actually somewhat of a cause for amusement for pretty much every fan of this game.
Back here, Ringtail.
Now, to be honest, I don't like her accent, but I think this is one of her better voice actresses overall. If she had done like a proper Mediterranean accent, I feel like this could have been a really good voice for Carmelita.
Go warm up the van. I'll keep Carmelita busy.
You're all
It's just
going to jail.
Pick me up at the
really
rendezvous.
weird that she is American in this game, and that's the choice they made. There is a lot of dialogue in this game. I'm going to do my best not to talk over too much of it, but sometimes I won't be able to help it.
Forever.
I mean, it's an LP. Talking is kind of what's expected of me. And it's a good thing for us that Carmelita is really bad at leading her targets, especially since we're running into a straight line. There goes our van. I love the police chase going on below us. There's so much that goes on in the background of this game. It's actually really cool. There is a lot of attention to detail that they put into this, and you can feel that they really enjoyed making this game.
We can get out of here.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Ringtail. I'll find you, Cooper.
Carmelita's just as angry as ever. She's really quite lovely when she's angry. That Constable Neela, was a reference to the Claw Gang just a slip of the tongue, or an intentional clue? Either way, it's her only lead on the missing Clockwerk Parts. Clockwerk. He was consumed with jealousy for the Cooper clan's thieving reputation. Is it inappropriate to refer to him as a monster? No, not at all. What kind of person stays alive for hundreds of years with the express intention of wiping out a rival's family line? Imagine the hatred fueling that first decision to replace his mortal body with soulless machinery. Ultimately, it did the trick. Clockwerk lived on. He caught up with my parents, and I wound up in an orphanage. It's there that I met my pals, Bentley, the brains of our outfit, and Murray, the brawn. They turned out to be all the family I needed. 2 years ago, I thought I'd finished it. How naive to think I could so easily put an end to that kind of hatred. And now he's back. In pieces, sure, but the threat is real. Does the Claw Gang even realize what they've stolen? I don't know what's in my future, but I won't let it be a repeat of my past.
So that gives you basically a short history of the events of the first game and a little bit about Sly's background. Okay, we will not shut down the system while that icon is on screen. And just like the first game, this is broken up into episodes. Right now, we only really have access to episode 1. We can see some of the movies and cutscenes that we unlock along the way, but we can't go back to the very first episode. Well, the prologue anyway. So let's start with episode 1. Sly Cooper, Band of Thieves, The Black Chateau.
I had to call in a few favors to get the goods on the Claw Gang's local operator. Dimitri, a sort of underworld celebrity, equally at home in high-class art circles and shady back-alley crimes. He was once a passionate young art student who worked hard to develop his own visionary style. Unfortunately, the art world wasn't quite ready for his kinetic aesthetic. So he gave them what they wanted and started forging old masterpieces. His way of punishing those with bad taste. Dimitri now runs a nightclub on the west side. The thumping music, colorful light shows, and a hint of danger lure in chic young patrons from far and wide. And it's here, hidden somewhere, where we'll find the clockwork tail feathers. What Dimitri plans to do with the clockwork part is beyond me. But those plans end tonight.
Sly Cooper and the gang in the Black Chateau. And this is probably the only mission I can really think of, the serious mission I can think of that takes place in his hometown. So this is very cool. Most of the missions that take place in Paris are tutorials, not a full-on game chapter like this. We get a nice panorama of the area. I have to admit that the remaster looks really good. I'm just nervous about those bugs. I'm hoping we don't run into too many. Alright, we're gonna start playing as Sly.
I tell you, Bentley, it's gonna be a real pleasure robbing this nightclub.
I share in your enthusiasm, but before we hit the inside, we'll need to do a little reconnaissance work.
What do you have in mind?
I've installed this special antenna on the safe house to help with our first job, hacking into Dimitri's satellite array. The coordinates for the job start beacon have been uploaded to your binocucom. Make your way to this position, and I'll give you a full briefing on our objective.
I'm on my way.
So, another refinement that has been made is the hub world is huge and very, very
If you
open
click
world.
The L3 button, press the left analog stick. I'll beam some virtual markers into your thief mask. They'll help you find your way around. If no markers are in view, use the right analog stick to move the camera and look around for them. Remember, the view is always better from the rooftops.
Thank you, Bentley. Compared to the first game, these levels are much, much more massive, and some of our missions, like this first one, are going to take place in the overworld itself. Others will take place inside buildings or in subworlds. And you may notice that right in front of us is a familiar little object from the first game, clue bottles. Unlike the first game, there are only 30 clue bottles in a given overworld.
The message you just found appears to be some sort of clue. I'll decipher it here in the safe house. In the meantime, see if you can find any more clues. The more I have, the easier it'll be to crack the code.
There are no clue bottles in the sublevels. There are only 30 in the overworld. And I've set this up where I'm basically going to get... Crap, I got spotted. I'm going to go for 5 between every mission. And I'm planning on 2 missions per video. So I've mapped this out. I've got a map on my second monitor here of a pretty efficient route to get to 5 bottles, and then we'll go straight into a gameplay mission. So by the time we get to the 6th mission, we should have all the clue bottles. And we've got 2. I need to get this one that's up here on the balcony. Trying to see the best way to do that. And there's actually 2 up there. Ah, okay. And I can't actually pull off that triple jump that you can sometimes get with Sly if you're close enough to a blue sparkly. So I'm gonna have to get up on this rope the old-fashioned way. There we go. And this is actually all 3 of the clue bottles I had planned. So there's clue bottle number 3. We'll run along the rope. We get clue bottle number 4. And then sneak along this ledge to get the 5th one. This is basically how I figured it would be the best way to approach getting clue bottles, because if you don't know where they are, they can take quite a while to get. And I don't want to dedicate episodes of me clue bottle hunting. So I figured I would break it up into manageable chunks and then Between levels, I might put up a bonus episode that's just clear bottles and a very efficient route to go get them all. That's the solution I've kind of settled on.
I need you to hack into Dimitri's communication array so that we'll have access to his database.
How am I supposed to do that?
To start, you'll need to get to the top of that tower. Then reposition the satellite dish to point at my safe house antenna. If you want to climb on stuff, jump and hit the circle button to grab hold. Try climbing up that pipe.
Right. Jump and press the circle button to climb pipes. I'm on it.
This episode, I'm just going to warn you, might run slightly long because of all the cinematics, but I do believe that 2 missions and 10 clue bottles per episode is a fairly reasonable pace to accomplish, and we should be able to do it within 25 minutes or so. I'm also being a little bit sloppy.
Markers near interactive objects like this satellite dish. When you're near these markers, press the circle button to use the object.
I've already used the object. I am being a little bit...
I've uploaded the next waypoint into your thief mask imager. Remember, click the L3 button to locate your next objective.
Oop, I don't want to get that clue bottle yet. We're going to get that later. Hopefully as I go on, I won't be getting caught quite as often. Alright, where's the next one? Is it over there? It's over there. Some of this is getting back used to some of the slight changes I think Sanzaru made. Gonna ignore that bottle for now. We'll get that one later. I am not going to pick up any bottles that I hadn't planned on and plotted out a route for. Just be aware of that. I'm going to keep to this map as strict as I can.
Okay, only one more to go. Activate your thief mask imager by pressing the L3 button to find the last dish waypoint.
There it
Remember,
is.
the view is always better from a rooftop.
It is. I wish I could stay up on the rooftops.
Hold down the R1 button while walking to break into a fast run, but be careful, as this is sure to be loud enough to alert any guards in the vicinity.
Yeah, I don't need to run. I'm already here. And I'm having a little bit of trouble staying on the rooftops, I noticed. Double jump seems a little bit odd. And there we go, there's our first job completed.
Nice work, Sly. I'm downloading from Dimitri's mainframe as we speak.
A night's work. So, where do we go from here?
Your next job is to break into the nightclub and take some reconnaissance photos of the Clockwerk tail feathers. To get inside, you'll have to sneak through an old wine cellar beneath town.
Okay, I'll head out for the cellar.
We're gonna do that next time, guys. I'm gonna call it an episode here. So, if you enjoyed what you saw today, give me that thumbs up. I always appreciate seeing those, and it does help the channel out. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more Sly Cooper, subscribe, because I'm going to be uploading this every weekday like I normally do in my uploads. And if you have any hints, tips, or tricks, leave me a comment down below. Once again, thank you for coming out and joining me today, and I hope you have a great day. Later.